Now that you're done carving, it's time for printing. So I went ahead and I carved that linoleum piece that we were working on before. And today I'm going to teach you how to print a proof. So you're going to need the materials that you see in front of you. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to move these out of the way. So we're going to take our inking plate. This is called a bench hook. And we are going to place the printer's ink, Speedball printer's ink, onto the bench hook. And when we first get started, I would suggest you're going to be having to cover this along with your carved linoleum piece. So you're going to probably use up a little bit more ink than when you would ready to pull a regular print when there's already ink on here. So I would usually suggest about the length of a toothbrush to get started. Then you're going to take the brayer, that's this piece right here, and you are going to kind of just spread the ink around onto the plate. Once the ink is spread around onto the plate, when you want to charge the brayer, that means to grab the ink all over, you don't want to just go back and forth in this manner. Because if you just go back and forth, it's not going to ink up the whole brayer consistently. So in order to ink up the brayer consistently, I'm going to turn this around, I'm going to ink in a forward fashion. And one of the things you're looking for is that kind of that velvet texture. So can you see the velvet texture kind of in there? That's what you want to see. If you don't have that velvet texture, if it looks really gloppy, chances are there's too much ink, or if you're not seeing that velvet texture, then you don't have enough ink. You want the same basic texture to be on your linoleum. So I'm going to move this aside and bring this in, and now we're going to ink up our plate. And you can see that I'm getting that same basic texture that I had on my carving tool, not my carving tool, my bench hook, as I do on the linoleum block. Now I'm going to take a piece of white paper. This is just drawing paper that's been cut down to size. And I'm going to place the drawing paper right on top. Now once you put the paper down, you don't want it to move because then it'll shift and it will smear. We're then going to use what's called a burnisher. And the burnisher is going to take the scissors, it's just like the scissors, and we're going to kind of press down on this. So we're transferring the ink to the paper. So we're pushing down a little hard. And it's okay if you get ink on the back. It's not a big deal. Now one thing we don't want to forget is to put our name on the back of the paper. And I did forget a pencil, but I would put my name on the back of this, and then I would pull this up, and there I have pulled my first proof. Okay? Notice that it's got a nice even distribution of ink all the way around. If you start seeing ink kind of filling into this white area and you start seeing a ridge along the outside edge, that means you have too much ink. If you see not enough where you have lots of white where there should be black, then that tells you that there is not enough ink or you didn't use the burnisher hard enough. So that's how you pull a proof. Now the reason for a proof is so that now you can take a look at how did you carve, and is there anything that you need to go back in here to change? Is there anything you don't like on here that you would like to go back and tweak? And if that's the case, you would wash and dry your linoleum block, go back to your carving table, carve out whatever pieces that you wanted to fix, and then you would reproof again until you were very happy with the final result and you were ready to move on. Good luck proofing.